3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to episode number 5, the Industry Athletics Show. We are excited today to talk about the Open, the CrossFit Open.
The CrossFit Open, not to be confused with any other Open.
Is there another Open?
I don't know. Is there?
No other Open?
This is the CrossFit Open.
The only
CrossFit
Open.
Open.
The February version of the CrossFit Open.
This is true. There's 2 in 2019.
2 Opens this year. The CrossFit Open is a 5-week competition where you throw down in your affiliate and you are judged by a fellow gym member or peer, teammate on workouts that are usually fairly accessible. There's an RX version and a scaled version. You can choose which to compete in. And it's a good time. So we're going to talk about what it is a little bit. We just kind of covered that, what we're doing here at Industry Athletics, and then why we do it. So,
I mean, I'd even go far as to say is that it's not a competition, but it's a 5-week-long test.
Personal test. So go ahead, logistics-wise, what did I miss?
Well, on that point, if you ask Greg Glassman or if you ask Dave Castro put it himself that the open workouts are not workouts, they're tests of fitness. So I think Nicole hit it right on the head. So these are not workouts in a sense of like Monday you're going to come in and hit 5x5 back squat and record your heaviest load. This is 5 workouts that are meant to test your personal fitness. So
hitting all different modalities and different movements, different weights.
Yeah, I like it. Test of fitness.
Yeah, so it's a 5-week test of fitness that in the grand scheme of things is the first stepping stone to finding the fittest human on earth in the CrossFit Games season. However, for the vast majority of people, including everybody I personally know,
everyone in this room.
It's much more a fun community event that can give you bragging rights or can, in my personal opinion, give you a litmus test of where you are in your fitness at any given time.
Yes, so we will have the workout as the workout of the day on Friday, and then on Friday night we will all gather around 5:30, go over the workout, the standards, get sheets out, judge each other, and try to create an electric atmosphere so we can PR, have a good time, meet some people, and really put ourselves out there when it comes to testing ourselves. Anything I missed as far as logistics go?
No, logistically it's pretty simple. One workout released every week. Like you said, we're going to have it on Fridays and just try to have a good time. Come in, push yourself outside of your comfort zone, try to encourage others to do the same, and see where we fall.
So, and Justin, for those listening, if you can't make it to Friday Night Lights, don't feel like that's your only opportunity to have a judge watch your movements and be able to record your score. You can easily find a buddy in maybe one of the earlier classes. It will be the workout for the entire day on Friday. There will also be times during Open Gym Saturday at Fed from 12 to 2 that people can test the workout. There's Open Gym on Sunday, as well as I know there will be people trying to retest on Monday as well.
Yeah, I know I always get stressed out every year about the retests on Monday, and I'm working out fine at Harbor East last year when we don't have the ability for 2 rooms, but just squeezing people in the back. I will try to do my best, or I should say we, because collectively we try to look at the programming to get a similar time domain on that Monday. So if it's a long 20-minute workout, we'll have a similar time domain so the retest is available. Used to be kind of a hot topic, the retest. I think now it's kind of, at least in my opinion, yeah, you want to do it again? Do it again. No big deal. It's a 5-week thing. Some people feel really strongly about testing and not retesting, but we can go into that.
Yeah, it's actually Annie Thorsdottir released an article recently where she said that she purposely programs the workout on Friday as well as a retest on Monday for her gym. She swears by the retest, thinks that people can learn a lot logistically in terms of their breathing, their pacing, or maybe how they broke up reps. Do you guys have any opinions on that?
I personally enjoy retesting a workout in a sense of not even necessarily that the retest matters in the grand scheme of your placement on the leaderboard, because I think, like I said in the beginning, we can all agree that placement on the leaderboard is fun to look at, but unless you're in the top 0.0% of athletes, we're not using this to go any further. I think the retest is more important to try different strategies and see if those if those strategies work for you. So as an athlete, it's important to know what type of workout you can do and manage, and you can only do that through trial and error. So if you do it one way on Friday, if you retest, try it a different way. Try a different rep scheme, try a different energy level. The only thing that I think is ridiculous is a retest with the same plan that you just think, I want to go faster. That is an inappropriate retest. So if you do decide to retest, I'm all for it. I probably will retest all 5 open workouts just because, like I said, I like to use the retest to try different things, see if it works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I retested a 20-minute workout last year and ended up getting the exact same score. But I used a different strategy. I tried something a little bit different and it just worked out the exact same. So I learned something from that.
Just showed you that you really did leave it all out there on the table regardless of what method you used.
I think majority of the time you will do better.
Most of the time you will. You've learned something, and even if, I mean, it goes back to that CrossFit Level 1 seminar lecture. You know, you learn something and then you redo it. Are you necessarily fitter, stronger? No, but you know, you've learned something and that makes you fitter.
Yeah, I think the tests that come out are so much different than if you take a 400-meter run. You know, you're maybe going to get a second or two difference on each one, and it's kind of like dependent a lot on sleep, what you did the day before, especially as you dial it in. And it's kind of like you know where you're going to finish. It's going to take a lot to break through that. Where these tests, there's just so many moving parts and variables, and the amount of time it comes out on Thursday night, we hit it on Friday. There might be a new, not new standard, but a different way somebody thought of transitioning to one movement to another.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can think about, what was it, 18.2 last year? People doing the dumbbell front squats on one side of the bar or the other, planning that out, and then suddenly someone was like, no rule said you couldn't straddle the bar. And that made a huge difference for a lot of people. And it was, you know, someone posted a video about it, so you constantly see new tricks and tips coming out over the weekend.
Love it. So overall, the Open, I think we hear a lot as coaches of, I love doing the Open, maybe why some people do it and why some people don't do it. So first we'll address, I feel like a lot of people will say, it's, you know, I don't want to sign up, it's $20, you know. Not so sure. To me, that's just intimidation, that they don't want to come in and put themselves out there on the workout. If you don't want to sign up, just saying like, it's not for me, totally cool, it's not for everybody. But if it's like, I haven't on about the $20, I don't know if I want to show up, like, I hope that at Industry Athletics, we've created an atmosphere that you feel comfortable as an athlete to come in and put yourself out there. I think for the past, 5 or 6 years when we've done the Open, it's always something that the last person is probably going to get cheered the most and the hardest and given the most support from everyone than the first place person. Always fun to watch the really good athletes, but I hope that intimidation piece, if anybody's listening and that's been you can be honest with yourself and think like, you know what, maybe I will try and put myself out there. I mean, it's $20, it's not that big of a deal. And it's more than just where did I stack up in the gym and where did I stack up worldwide. It's more so about, not prepping, so to speak, but you come in here every day and work hard, this test gets delivered, and now you have a chance to try to, perform for that test. And, you can learn a lot about yourself over the course of 5 weeks that has nothing to do with placing.
Yeah.
I like to compare the $20 that CrossFit is asking for the Open to the money that you would spend to run a 5K race or a 10K race in your local whatever. So it doesn't, nothing is going to stop you from going out and running a 5K. I could do it right now. No pomp, no circumstance, go out, run 5K, come back, be done. I don't have to spend any money to do that. However, there is a marked difference when you commit and you spend money, you now have skin in the game, you try a little bit harder, you run a little bit faster, you have people cheering you on, the race atmosphere is different.
There's a buy-in.
Exactly, you have a buy-in. You're committing to trying your best to run a 5K. And you have money on the line saying, I'm gonna do this. So regardless of whether you think CrossFit's just trying to make money or not, personally, I think people who pay the $20 are gonna try harder in the open because they've committed to trying their best for 5 weeks. So that's how I equate the $20. Now again, if $20 is a lot and you know it doesn't matter to you, save your money, keep it in your pocket, but you're gonna try harder if you commit and pay the $20 than if you don't.
Agreed. Nicole, any thoughts?
No, I would agree with that as well. I would also go back to what Geo said in that the loudest cheers definitely are for the last person. And if I look back on every open we've done, the memories that stand out the most was someone fighting for their first in a movement or fighting for that last rep that was gonna make the difference to them.
Yeah, totally agree. Let's talk about any other hurdles. Go ahead, Dave.
Real quick, I just want to point out there that CrossFit Federal Hill gets no paybacks from people signing up for the Open.
Oh yeah.
So
either spot.
The $20 literally means nothing to us whatsoever, other than what we just said. Like the CrossFit doesn't give us anything back for the $20 or for the number of people we have signed up. It's just how we feel.
If you're one of the thousands of people listening, then our goal, if you're one of the 5 or 10 people listening that are members, I mean, our sole goal is really for you to show up on Friday night. The more people in there, the more energy we have, that would be a total win for us. You sign up, great, I highly encourage you to, but if you come in on Fridays because, one Friday out of 5, whatever, your schedule is available for that, the atmosphere is always better with more people.
It really is, and it goes back to that 5K thing. You're gonna run faster the better the atmosphere. If you have people cheering for you, you're gonna go harder. It's just the way that it is, and it really is fun. I know these workouts, and we'll start talking a little bit about the workouts because I do want to bring one thing up about them, but they're tough. They are not easy workouts. I can't think back to a single open workout where I finished and wasn't almost flat on my back for a significant amount of time. So these are tough workouts, and having people there, that adrenaline that you get is a real factor.
I mean, it's very similar to any of the named workouts in CrossFit. An open workout eventually becomes a benchmark. It's something you'll maybe repeat. We just retested 17.5 the other day. Any of the benchmarks, Fran, Annie, Elizabeth, Diane, they're all hard. They're meant to be a challenge.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that hopefully has a lot to do with the atmosphere that's set up and you committing to it, so then you're trying to push yourself a little bit further. Any other hurdles? Let's address the person that is, first time doing it, maybe it's their second open. Any other hurdles that you guys hear about besides like, I can't come on Friday, it's $20?
I mean, the biggest one is in the open, we don't know anything that's gonna happen, but I can almost put money down that there's gonna be high skilled movements, double unders, muscle ups, hopefully handstand walks, hopefully pistols.
I would love for pistols.
Yeah, I mean, but because you don't know what movements are gonna come, and historically we've seen high skill gymnastics movements and high weight movements that at some point you're gonna get stopped in your tracks. Mm-hmm. Most people. And so I think that can be a barrier for people. They see the fact that there's gonna be muscle ups and it's like, well, at that point, why even care? However, now that they've scaled the open, I think that they've done a really good job of creating accessible workouts for everybody, regardless of your skill level. And for those people who are kind of in the middle, I always suggest doing the workout 100% prescribed until you can no longer do the workout prescribed, and then scale it. So there's 100 different options for people to do depending on where they are. Even if the scaled workout is not accessible, scale it back even more.
I completely agree with that. There's been chippers before where maybe an athlete can do the first 3 movements, but that 4th one holds them back. And sure, they try for a couple minutes, but let's say the time cap's 20. Once they've committed to maybe 3-4 minutes of it, if they're feeling defeated, call the workout right there at, let's say it was RX, and now get your sweat in. Resort down to a modification. You've got your score, so that doesn't go against any of the open rules, and just continue working out.
If you're new, this is your first open, no brainer, sign up. I mean, no brainer. Put yourself out there, try something new. There's a workout, what was it, bar muscle up, light power snatch,
Yep.
Back and forth, 3-7, 3-7, 3-7, totally high skill, not going to be doable for a lot of people. But there was something that was, you could scale and you can modify. You're around the atmosphere, you watch the other people do it, you have committed and put yourself out there. I mean, 5K example is great. You are going to remember the time that you signed up for the CrossFit Open. For the small buy-in, there's 5 weeks set up for you to come in, and we'll try to do a great job of making sure there's sheets and clipboards and it feels official, and all of this is set up for you. Great experience, totally do it. Now, what do we say to the person who's like, my 3rd or 4th year, I don't know, CrossFit's not putting that much into the open anymore. Little background on that is, CrossFit is still hosting the open, but there's just not going to be as much media around it, and not as much, push from them as far as teams and everything else go.
Yeah, I think their push has just been different. That they're, at least from the media I have seen out about the open, it seems like their push for the open is that test of fitness. See where your personal fitness level is, as opposed to in the past it was, their push for it was see if you can make the games, or see if you can make regionals. How far can you go with this? They're just shifting their mindset completely.
And I think they're pushing community, which I really like. Most of the posts that I've seen have been related to the Friday Night Lights atmosphere.
Yeah, they've got a lot of the hashtags out too, to create your own leaderboard, whether that be with individuals in your gym or some of your friends that maybe happen to go to a different box. They're a part of a different community. This is a way you can kind of compare, compete, or just, do the open together.
For sure. So what do we say to those athletes that are, it's the 4th year, I don't know. Do you have any advice to someone who's been a member for a while, done the open 3 times, don't think I'm going to show up this year?
I think, just like Nicole said, the open is probably the best benchmark of any of them. I think the open workouts are long enough, short enough, widely varied enough, constantly varied enough, that it's not a 3-minute Fran. It's not a 4-minute Diane. They're my favorite litmus tests for my fitness. And I'll redo open workouts constantly. Once a month, maybe. I've done 6 in the last 2 weeks, just feeling where I am in my fitness leading up to the open. So use them as a benchmark. Even if you're feeling bad, I can remember 2017, 16 or 17, I can't remember. It was a bad year in fitness, and my open scores are reflective of that. So I can look back and now see 8 years of my fitness, and it's fun to look at. And if you just don't have the data, you don't have the data. So CrossFit, and really I think we should all try to create this quantifiable fitness, measurable fitness, and this is how you measure it. The open is probably my favorite or the best measure of your fitness. So if you're discouraged on where you might be, use the open to, one, confirm that, maybe surprise yourself that you're a little bit fitter than you think you are, or use it to realize what you need to put in for next year to get better.
Yeah, and I mean, if the word challenge, test, any of that is intimidating at all, you can also view it as a tradition. Every year we have the open, every year people come together, they have fun, they bring energy, there's camaraderie, there's cheering, there's surprises, whether that be the workout itself, it's a surprise, or man, I just strung together more reps at this weight than I ever thought I could, or I just did a movement that 2 weeks ago, I didn't think I had it in my arsenal. I've been working on the skill, but it's finally coming together. It's a tradition. If you think about any of the other traditions in your life, it's usually hard to quit. You might talk about it, but maybe family's not getting together for something, but deep down inside, you're like, I really wish we were getting together. Well, this is your family. Come together.
Yeah, I like that. I like the tradition piece and the test piece. Everybody ebbs and flows. I remember in 17, I think was the last year I was training like really hard. I might be off by a year, but anyway, Candace did this whole spreadsheet about how everybody improved because it was one of the first years we launched Demand as a gym. So everybody was a little bit more in tune with the training. So what has Demand made as far as the difference makes on the competitive athletes in the gym?